What is going on YouTube? Hayden here, and in today's episode we are going to be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Solana, Bitcoin, Vong, and the S&P 500. Specifically, in today's video, I know I didn't make one yesterday. I was super busy trying to get caught up on work, but I do have time now to get a video out for you guys. We are going to be looking at the fact that cryptos are still consolidating upwards here. Over the past day or two, so today and yesterday, we pretty much are at the same point that we were, where we last left off. I think it was Monday. And as you guys can see, we are still consolidating at moving average for a lot of these cryptocurrencies. XRP is caught up on moving average. Solana is at moving average. Ethereum is at moving average. Bitcoin is at moving average. And then Vong and the S&P 500 are just all-time highs, which is insane, now becoming overbought. So more than likely going to see some sort of what I would think would be correction back to the downside. We shall see. But with all of that being said, definitely make sure to smash that like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and let's get right into today's episode. So guys, before I forget, you have about 2 days left to take advantage of a free bonus crypto for you guys that decide to deposit into the BYDFI exchange. You can either create a new account or I suppose possibly even use the same one. I'm sure they would honor it here. And if they don't, you can feel free to reach out to me, send me a DM, leave a comment, something like that. Try to get to me, and then I can always reach out to them. But they're giving up to $2,000 in free bonus cryptocurrency for those that do decide to deposit onto the exchange, which is super cool. Pretty much what you could do, exchange arbitrage, is if you make a deposit, you can claim the bonus, and then when you get the bonus, you can withdraw the crypto that you had originally deposited, and then just use the bonus money on the exchange and trade around, and any profits earned off that bonus money, you can withdraw completely free, which is super cool. Now, we last left off, it was about 2 days ago here. It was on Monday. We made a video, didn't make one yesterday, Tuesday. But you can see we are pumping this week, and I have all the proof that we need, and I still believe that we are going to be continuing to the upside here. You can see on XRP, we have been tracking a descending fractal here. It was originally a symmetrical triangle, like we originally had downtrend, right here, downtrend, support, and we were filling in this gap nicely here, and then boom, we broke down. So you can see we were starting to head to the downside here, but because we hit bottom support, especially with a double bottom of a sort, but ideally the fact that we hit this floor here, we knew we would see a rebound up, especially since we had this downtrend here. Once we confirm closure outside that downtrend, we knew it would be a long opportunity, and we would more than likely see a run back up to moving average price ceiling, especially since we were hitting a bit of resistance right here. We were hitting that price floor, so we were oversold, and more than likely we would now expect to see correction to the upside here, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Right at target, we're nearly there. If not, maybe in another couple of days, we should be at that price target, but we are right there. We figured right at this point, and if we just move that over here, we're essentially at that same level here. So I more than likely think we are nearing that price ceiling. We're nearing that target, and this is intra trading. So you could capitalize off the short-term trading inside the descending fractal, but inevitably, if you take a step back and look at this at a macroeconomic scale, we are bullish. This is 100% a bull flag formation here. Descending fractal, they typically break out. And what we're looking for is retesting the price ceiling, that yellow resistance, that yellow price ceiling. And once we confirm closure above that, more than likely, we should expect to see a rally to the upside. That's what I think. We're going to confirm closure above this resistance and then expect to see a long position to the upside here. That's what we're looking at. That's what I'm expecting to see take place here. And we'll see if it actually comes true, but I'm a strong believer that we are going to be on the rebound up to here. However, things get a bit interesting when you start to include these other cryptos. Like when you include, and the stock market, the fact that Vong is near overbought and the S&P is near overbought, this actually might be the highest point we see XRP move to over the next coming days, if not weeks. And I'll explain more in a second. But looking at the current coin market cap, trading at 39 on the Fear and Greed Index, more than likely, we are going to consolidate a bit. This still shows there's plenty of room to head up, but originally we were much closer to extreme fear. Now we're at kind of going to be a neutral fairly soon. And you can see over the past 24 hours, we are down just a hair. Like crypto is just starting to pin lower. Like we hit some sort of price ceiling. We're starting to correct to the downside. Some of these cryptos, most of them. But you can see here with XRP, we're hitting turbulence, we're hitting resistance, and this could cause a bit of consolidation, especially when you factor in the stock market into things. There's a good chance we are going to see a bit of rejection here. Same thing with Solana here. Very similar with XRP's pattern in a descending fractal hitting moving average. You look at Solana hitting a descending fractal. We are in a descending fractal and we are hitting moving average here. So more than likely, because we broke out of here, we're probably going to consolidate a bit. That would be the best case scenario, or we're going to reject a hair, probably not fall as low unless we start to see a huge downturn on the stock market and we like really fall off, which is certainly a possibility here. But inevitably, we could do something along the lines of this and then hopefully break through that. We might see a bit more consolidation before we see a rally to the upside here on probably a lot of these cryptocurrencies. The more we factor this in, anything can happen. It's a 50-50 on Solana. XRP is kind of in the same boat too, 50-50, 50 nearly, 49.65 on the Fear and Greed Index here. With this consolidation here, we don't have enough steam to break through just yet. And because we're hitting moving average, there's a chance we could correct. And I really think the stock market is going to be to blame on this one now that I look at this. So we'll do all these trades on BYDFI, the #1 cryptocurrency leveraging exchange that I like to use here on the channel. Buy long, sell short, leverage trade, create stop losses, take profits. Every single thing you'd want on an exchange is offered on BYDFI, which is super cool. So definitely make sure to check them out here. And aside from that, they have a demo trading account, which gives you $50,000 in demo money to practice trading, for free. I don't know what just happened to this. Here we go. It just loaded up. 49.52 started with 50K, just playing around with the exchange here, practicing your trades, get familiar with the exchange. And once you're ready, you can head on over to the live account. And the reason I always suggest trading on a demo is because it's risk-free. If you lose money, you lose money. Not a big deal. I just got my bonus. We're going to trade around with some of that. $800 in free bonus cryptocurrency that you guys can take advantage of too by signing up right here. Once you do, you can start messing around with the exchange's money and not yours, which is great. We're waiting for that entry point, which could be a short. Honestly, it's a little spooky, but we could be shorting the markets fairly soon. There's a really good chance we could be shorting the markets really soon, and not something we want to deal with and do, but it's certainly a big possibility here. But then you look at like Ethereum. Ethereum looks good. So the other cryptos look bearish. Ethereum looks bullish because Ethereum is on top of its moving average, not below it here. So there's a chance we could head to the upside here, or we might just consolidate a bit more. I know I'm all over the place here, but I'm really trying to gather my thoughts as we record here so we can figure this out together. But it seems like there's a lot of consolidation going on. Rejection off Bitcoin here, off the moving average, starting to consolidate as well. And then when you factor in, and this is the big giveaway here, the S&P and VONG, and it shows that we're pretty much getting very close to the top. We're probably going to see a correction fairly soon. We're probably going to see a downturn, like something along the lines of this, as we usually do. I mean, we could consolidate and then head back up. So that's not something to pass over as well here. So we might see maybe a little bit more consolidation and then followed by a rally. No blast off just yet. We've already had our reversal. And now we might consolidate a bit. This is going to lead us probably into today's Wednesday, end of this week, and then we'll be left to make a decision. But the key points to take away from this are and this is why it's tough to intra-trade inside these technical patterns here. Once we get confirmation above here, we can long it. Same thing with Solana, we can long that. Once Ethereum breaks through price ceiling of its ascending broadening wedge, we can, long the crypto. Same thing with Bitcoin. This one's a little bit, more difficult to track. But again, we break through price ceiling. We can long. Same thing with a lot of these cryptos, pretty much all of them here. So that's kind of the pattern we're waiting for. But all we're doing right now is playing a dangerous game, trying to figure out what's going to happen within its technical indicator patterns. And that is where we have high risk, high reward situations here. But I think, honestly, most of these cryptos are probably going to consolidate out. They're on moving average. They're not really doing too much, and they're kind of waiting to see what the stock market does before they make any sort of pivotal or vital moves here. So at this point, I'm going to play it safe and just sit quiet and wait to see what exactly happens here. But feel free to add on to this down in the description below, or in the comment section below. But with that being said, smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.